Hey, what's up, YouTube? Hey, what's up, everybody who's watching? Appreciate you tuning in. Once again, we're doing a podcast, but this time we're doing it in my garage because I was just down here, to be honest with you. But I want to talk about the Damar Hamlin situation and just him going down. And just first, want to say it's truly a blessing that just that he's able to survive from that. I've been doing research on it since he pretty much went down, and that coin term is commotio cordis, which is essentially when your heart skips a beat, or when your heart on the EKG line is it's a split millisecond. I think it's 300 of a millisecond, where if you get hit, you can go into cardiac arrest. This happens maybe 30 times a year to certain people, and they said that there's a 50% chance of people surviving if they get CPR administered immediately, and that's what happened to him. So essentially, the athletic training staff that was administering CPR to him, for about 8 to 9 minutes until they got a defibrillator, and then he got to the hospital, really saved his life. So, but I mean, it's just, to be honest, it's the grace of God. It's truly a blessing, and that he's able to live. And people talk about prayer, people talk about God, and some people who are atheists or apathetic or whatever belief system they have. Everyone in the whole world was praying, because we know who God is, and we know God is God. He's merciful, he's compassionate, and he just showed grace in that time period. So I prayed. I'm pretty sure other people prayed about the situation, and it's just a blessing that he's able to almost be himself again. He still has to go through procedures of the hospital. In the hospital, he still has to. Once he passed all the neurological tests, now tonight, this Friday night, then he can be in stable condition, and they'll run more tests for him. So within 28 to 48 hours, he can be considered in stable condition as well too. But I want to talk about a situation when it comes to football and the mentality. When it comes to football, as far as laying your life out on the line, giving 110%, and just the injuries that come with the game. I've battled injuries throughout my whole career playing football, and I've had a broken knee, a torn ACL, torn ACL twice, torn meniscus, pulled hamstring, subluxed patella, which is a knee dislocation. I've had multiple injuries, and whenever I got injured, there was no second guess or second thought about me not being able to play again or wanting to play again. When you're playing football, you're not thinking about the worst case scenario. When you're out there on a field, you're not thinking about, this is my last game. You're thinking about making a play, going hard for your team, giving 110%. And we're hearing a lot of conversation as far as, hey, we're people, we're players. We are, well, not we, but the players are players. And I said not we because I don't play anymore. The players are players. And, it's a fine line between going out there and giving 110%, because playing football is different from war. Even though when I played football, when people talk about it, they talk about it like it's war, because it is a head-on collision. A sport, you got the best athletes in the world, the most physically athletic people just running into each other, trying to maneuver with each other. So it's a violent game by nature. But I'm going to say that because even though there's the concept of going to war and giving it your all, no one anticipates them dying or being detrimentally hurt on the field. And these players don't go out there thinking, hey, look, this is going to be my last game. They think about, okay, look, I'm going to play this game and go home with my family. There's an aspect of people who are willing to risk that, and that's why Damar Hamlin, when he came back, he asked, did he win the game? This may have been routine for him. He didn't know the condition that he was in. So I do appreciate what the NFL is doing when it comes to protecting the players. And I do think that they go overboard with it to protect some players to sell tickets, but we all know that, like Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, if you touch them, the flag's going to go up. Josh Allen flopping. But I say that because I think the most important thing when it comes down to it is, like, this is a moment. right? This is a moment in football where people are praying for Damar. We're here for Damar, and the NFL players rally together, and people don't understand the brotherhood the NFL has. The NFL has a brotherhood that's unlike no other. These guys know each other, they grow with each other, and it's pretty much them versus the owners, sometimes the GMs, because they're going out playing for their neighborhoods, playing for themselves, playing for their family. In Damar's situation, this guy was a second year guy playing football. He didn't necessarily have that big money contract yet. And once you hit year 4 in the NFL, you get that kind of after you pass a certain test, right? You get that that lifetime medical insurance. I think they need to change that. They definitely need to change that. But you get that kind of lifetime insurance and taking care from the NFL. And you have guys like that who are willing and understand, like, hey, look, no matter what, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna give 110%. So this situation is tough. And, some people may look at the situation and say, hey, look, it's a one-off situation, and get back there and go 110%. What I'm thinking about is, are there players that are going to look at what happened at night? And I'm sure there are, and say, hey, Damar, that happened the night with Damar Hamlin, and say, hey, look, I don't want to play this game anymore. And I'm sure there are people who are, maybe some people who've been playing, they're vets and ready to get out the game. So I do think that some players will eventually kind of go into that mode of saying, hey, look, it's not worth it anymore. But I just want to say, if anything that happened with Damar Hamlin, it's a blessing. God gave him strength during that time period, and this is a moment where we can thank everybody who was involved at the University of Cincinnati Hospital, the athletic trainers, his family, the people that came to rally support. But this is God's doing, and we look at these monumental miracles that happen in life, and we look at these things that are large in life that we take for granted. God blesses us every single day that we operate. When we wake up in the morning, we have an opportunity to breathe, opportunity to serve, opportunity to give back, opportunity to give. There's always somebody who's less fortunate. Like, this is the grace of God, and it just shows you how prayer works and how God works in this game of football. I always talk about football as being an honest game. And, football, the ability to play football at the next level wasn't in my plan, it wasn't in my will. But this game is pure, and I respect this game to the nth degree. I study this game. I want to play this game any opportunity I get. I go out of my way to get opportunities just to compete, even though I know my body is aging. I love the idea of just competing out there with football, because football, it's a pure game. It's an honest game. And the architecture of football I love. So when I think of those guys going out there, giving it their all, when I think about the situation with Damar, there are other people who out there just like me, have the same mindset of me, who won't second guess or even stop for a second to think about getting back out there. And but I just want to say it's a blessing that he's able to be in essentially stable condition, and it's the power of prayer and the power of God is so strong. And I think that we can't overlook that during this moment. It's not about what happens to the playoffs. It's not about your fantasy team. It's not about betting. It's not about all these things that takes away from the purity of football. It's about the grace of God and how he helped a nation and Damar in that situation. So, truly a blessing.